often, and today we've had a very heavy day. To talk about sexual abuse is difficult, and then for people to hear it is even more difficult. Something that pulls you down has to be and has going on the whole day today. So I will not apologize. I was about to, but I will not apologize. This is part of who we are and part of the dark side. And I don't think there is any dark side. So I thought the best way to kind of end today's day was to bring in angels. And Poornima does a fabulous job of it. She's got so many awards for her work. And I'm really pleased to have her here. Where is she? Our angel. Hi. So, yes, please. That's for Poornima Dayal. The lady who talks to angels, believes in angels, and is always an angel looking herself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hello. Yeah. So I'm just going to take you down into a small meditation. And this is going to be a healing of the inner child with the angels. I don't pre-plan my meditations, and I just go with the flow. So whatever I'm guided to do today, I'll take it as it goes. We just need to close our eyes. Just relax yourself. Just take a deep breath and relax. Wow, there's beautiful energy in the room. A lot of divine blessings flowing around. I see a lovely mist of orange and blue flowing into the room, the light of the divine. Just breathe deeply and relax. Call upon divine, whoever you have faith in, to be with you now. I see the lovely rays of Archangel Michael protecting everyone and shielding them. The angel of guidance, protection and courage. These beautiful violet and blue rays of light shielding everyone here today. As we breathe in deeply and relax. Our inner child is the childlike self within us. The one that loves to play, the one that loves to enjoy. The little child within us. And today we are going to connect with that little child within us in a very harmonious way, bringing in more joy, laughter and smiles into our lives. Flowing with the divine. I see the divine light of guardian angels with a lot of you here today, guiding you. As you proceed on your life journey, beautifully and wonderfully. Some of you have gorgeous tasks ahead to heal people, to love people, to embrace them. And the angels are by your side. Take a deep breath and connect with the inner child, with that little child like you. Archangel Metatron is an angel who works with children and guides them. So is Archangel Haniel. And we call upon them, their divine light, to be with that little inner child within you. The glimpse of that little child within you may be smiling, maybe laughing, maybe playing. A joyful being, always wanting to be happy. guide you. They bring this child to forefront, allowing you to converse with it. Talk to this inner child. It has so much to say. It's such a loving being of light. It has always loved you. See a harmonious blend of love between you yourself now and this little being. Converse with it. Let your heart pour. Let the little child's heart pour and let it tell you whatever it feels. Reassure it that it's always safe and divinely protected and guided. That it's got a beautiful journey ahead. Always safe. As the divine light shields and protects this loving being of light, who's always safe on its journey. See this divine light enveloping, surrounding this little child within you, embracing it, giving it love, giving it joy. See it content and happy with the love that surrounds it. Allow the beautiful pink light of the divine as I see it now, which seems to be flowing across the room right now, enveloping it, shielding it, and loving it like never before. Light surrounds this little one. There is so much love flowing, so much joy and laughter. Breathe it in. Integrate that laughter and joy within yourself right now. See yourself smiling. A smile that has always been a part of you. Always been you. I see Archangel Raphael's green light filling up this room, surrounding and enveloping you, guarding you, healing from within the core. Divine is the parent, the guardian, who always takes care of it and has given you the responsibility to take care of this little being of light. And you have it in you to love the baby, to love yourself. Hug it, kiss it. Love it. Give it all the affection that you ever needed or wanted in your life, because you are complete and so is the little one within you. Embrace the little child, embrace yourself, hug yourself. As the green light of Archangel Raphael embraces each one here, completing you, fulfilling you. Congratulates you on the journey love radiate out, this joy radiate out from you to your loved ones, to your family, to your friends, your acquaintances, your homes, your offices, and wherever you want to send to this universe, to every plant and animal, to every part of this world. And as this love goes out from you, you feel so loved. The universe sends you back so much of love, the love which is your right. Feel the love. Feel the harmony with this and breathe it in. Integrate the loving child, the joyous child, back into your heart, embracing it again. Part of you that is always happy, that is always in bliss, and knows exactly what to do. Take these few moments to just feel the love energy, to just feel the divine light surrounding each one of you and filling this room. And take a deep breath in. And with humble gratitude to the divine, whoever you have faith in, to the archangels, Michael, Raphael, Metatron, Haniel, your guardian angels, and all the divine beings of light and ascended masters who bless this meditation today, to Mother Earth, to every plant and animal, and every part of this universe that gave you an opportunity to send out love and from whom you received love. Send them gratitude. You have come a long way, and it's been a beautiful journey, and so it will be ahead. With humble gratitude, you rub your palms and open your eyes when you want. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.